Uh, okay.
Okay, I think we're live. The
We
button's
are.
not red. It just says live in gray. It's not live in red like it normally is.
Yeah, and we are broadcasting to the internets.
Perfect. Well, then let's get going. What do you say?
Make it so, buddy.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Captain's Quarters, the unofficial Star Trek rewatch podcast where we are rewatching the entire Star Trek franchise starting at the beginning of the official timeline. And we are talking about Star Trek Discovery. My name is Gabe. I'm with my co-captain Jason. Set your phasers for fun. Jason set a course for Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Episode 5, called Saints of Imperfection. How's it going,
Yes.
buddy?
Good. How are you? Glad to be back in the captain's quarters.
Yeah, we've been off for a couple weeks, but that's okay because now we're back, and it's good to
Shore
see
leave.
you.
Shore leave. Right? Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Good to see you
So I'm
too.
going to give, yeah, man. Here's my little synopsis from
Buckle up,
Memory
everybody.
Alpha
Buckle up.
via fandom.com. Burnham and the crew navigate a dangerous alien landscape in a race against time to save Tilly's life, but Stamets is not at all prepared for what they find in the process. Section 31 is assigned to help track down Spock, much to Pike's dismay. So this whole arc, multiple episodes across this season, is them chasing Spock. And we learned at one point that Spock is accused of multiple murders at a mental health facility, space station, really, where he stole a shuttle after apparently killing some doctors. They're pursuing him. So at the beginning of this episode, they're catching up to what they believe is his shuttle, and they like tractor beam it in, only to find that Spock is not on board. It is, in
You said tractor
fact,
beam, so sorry.
not Spock on board. It is
Uh-oh.
actually Philippa, the Emperor from the Terran Empire. And so she is now part of Section 31, and they've been assigned to track down Spock as well. But for different reasons. They're going to try to bring him to justice while Ike and Burnham and Discovery are, you know, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. And so in this episode, then Discovery and the Section 31 ship are working together, even though they have different motives, and there's a bit of a conflict there. Uh, they're working together, so it reunites Burnham with her love, Tyler, and Philippa's around, and it's an interesting episode because there is two arcs. There's the Spock thing at first, but then there's the Tilly thing. But as far as the Spock thing goes, it's interesting because even though Burnham and Philippa were never best friends, they at times got along fine. But in this case, now we know Philippa's kind of psychotic, uh, and we don't trust what she's going to do to Spock. And obviously, Burnham cares for Spock, it's her brother. And so now it's this very interesting, almost uh, race against each other because I can see this season evolving into that of a certain race to find Spock first. And I think Burnham believes that Philippa would kill Spock if she finds him because that's kind of Section 31 seems to just play by their own rules, and you know, um, mix that with the fact that Philippa is a Terran, and so there's an interesting dynamic and interesting conflict introduced in this episode that I really liked. And so and then Philippa, even though she's been a hero ever since kind of coming back to this universe from the Terran universe, the mirror universe, she I could see her being the new villain.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah. But that was kind of actually a small part of this episode. The main part of this episode is them trying to save Tilly. So Tilly was sucked into the mycelial network, and that was last episode. Now they're trying to save her. So they come up with a plan. They're going to do a micro spore drive jump, and they're going to kind of go like half into the drive or half into the mycelial network, and that will open a gateway where they can enter in the portal that opened in the last episode, which is kind of like a transporter, but organic. And so Stamets and Burnham go in to the mycelial space looking for Tilly. They find her. May is there, who was Tilly's parasite ghost friend. And May is
Studio.
kind of like, yeah, it's kind of brainwashing Tilly, trying to get her to do things that May thinks is going to save the mycelia. So basically, when Dr. Culber died, his essence was brought into the network, and it's like treated like a virus. And so the spores are trying to kill him. May's trying to enlist Tilly to kill him, to kill the doctor. So they find Tilly, but they also find the doctor, Stamets' love. And so now it's how do we get both of them out of here? And they determine that that like if this transporter is like the one you see on a starship, um, where it basically reconstitutes somebody, then they figure like, well, he'll just be reconstituted when he leaves. Um, so they convince May, hey, you know, you're attacking him, he's attacking you. Just let us leave. Problem solved. May and Tilly don't necessarily want to part with each other, but they come to terms with that. So eventually they leave the portal. Dr. Kolar can't leave because it wasn't his body that initially entered. It was only his quote energy, which we'll talk about. But they basically kind of leave it up to faith, and they I don't know if they make any modifications. I'll let you clarify that one. But they end up so Stamets, Tilly, and Burnham leave the network, and then what ends up happening is that Culber's body is like reconstituted by the portal, um, but in a different way. It's almost like it's building him from scratch as opposed to transporting him out. And that whole time that's happening, the disco is in danger of getting like ripped apart because they're half into the mycelial network. And so that's like the urgency and the main like dynamic of the whole episode is that race against that. And Section 31 is like tractor beaming them, like holding them into place so that they don't slip further into the network. And yeah, so Dr. Culber is back, Tilly is saved, and we assume we're gonna get back into the hunt for Spock in the next episode. So yeah, there we go. What did I miss, buddy?
Nothing. You didn't miss anything, just like all of your other recaps and synopses. That was beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Before we get into discussion, what are you drinking? It looked like milk
Milk.
for a second.
It is milk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Less exciting than what usually. Your
Yeah.
whole paycheck sparkling
Mhm.
water?
Well, I have that too. I have
Oh,
both.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
what's got the milk?
So honestly, I'm in Arizona. It's hot here, and a
Did we
cold
not learn
glass
anything from
of
Anchorman?
a
Milk
cold glass
was
of
the wrong choice.
yeah, perfect, man. Perfect. But honestly, cold milk, very refreshing.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
So yeah,
Actually, it is. It's just
yeah,
funny that, from
yeah.
Anchorman.
No, that was perfect. Yeah, exactly. Milk was a bad choice.
Milk was a bit. I was hoping that you were going to lead with "It's hot here," and it's actually a good choice.
Yeah. Well, I'm not running like Ron Burgundy was in that
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
So
Yes. No, but no. Back to what we were talking about. No, you didn't miss anything. What'd you think?
Um, I really
Thoughts?
enjoyed this episode. Yeah, I thought it was a great episode. Um, lots of like reflection on kind of what they owe each other, what the meaning is of their team and Starfleet and and I think it's like a reflection on duty, really, is
Mm-hmm.
this episode. And there's a lot of really good quotes about that, about duty and
Yeah.
what's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And because I mean what they're doing is crazy. They're when they're jumping into the network, the spores are eating the ship
Mm-hmm,
apart. Like,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and so they're literally risking everything to save one
Well,
person.
yeah.
Yeah. And I enjoyed that. I thought that was the right thing to do. We used to talk about that a lot when we watched Enterprise of like the calculated choice versus the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, even if the right thing to do is way riskier.
Yeah.
So I feel like this series doesn't doesn't get caught up in the math like
100%.
that Enterprise
100%.
did. So
I think we've gotten. No, I totally agree with you, and I'm not disagreeing with you. And but I want, I'm trying to illustrate that maybe once or twice, a couple times, handful of times, have we gotten that really thus far? The choices. I think um the church episode, that was a really interesting one. New Eden, that one um
mhm. Yeah.
comes to mind, and I'm not sure how many others, but I 100% agree with you. There has not been that many episodes where the captain or where the crew or the officers have had to make that human choice.
Hmm.
Is that the logical thing to do, Spock? No, but it is the human thing to do. But yeah, no. And to your point, I wrote this down. When Captain Pike says, "Starfleet is a promise. I give my life for you. You give your life for me, and nobody gets left behind."
Exactly. Yeah, I actually wrote that quote down as well because I just thought that was profound. Because also, Pike doesn't even know Tilly that well,
Yeah.
but the few impressions that he had of her was that this person would absolutely risk her life for us. He says
Yep.
as much, and so we need to do the same.
Yep.
And I
And
love that.
And the child in me though, at the same time after he said that, I had to pause the episode and go, Ohana means family where no one is left behind or forgotten.
Okay, buddy, you're gonna have to explain that quote.
No, what? Seriously, you just got back
Seriously.
from Disneyland and you don't know the
No, I
Lilo
don't.
and Stitch quote? Oh
Oh,
no.
dude,
Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
never saw Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Never saw it, man. By the
Oh,
way, the child in you, that probably came out when you were like 15,
yeah, I
16,
know,
17.
but it's a serious. No, what I mean was, it was a serious moment, and like I had to pause and go back and be like, quote Stitch. But you're right. It was when I was a teen. It was probably when we were teenagers when that came out, if not in our 20s.
Yeah, because I just remember my sister would watch it. So, and she's 8 years younger than me. So,
Oh, okay, but yeah, no. The immature side of me, should we say, is that better?
yeah, it's all good. Yeah, and my daughter can't watch that. There's something about the beginning that really scares her.
Oh, the aliens. The aliens? Is it the aliens?
I think so. And I think they like do something to the body of like they um pull on him or something or
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, and it really freaks her out.
yeah.
Sorry, my dog is crying, trying to get her to come
No,
out
no, no,
here.
no. You're good. Can't hear. Sorry. Oh, Lily.
Sorry.
No worries. She needs attention right now.
Well, as
Is
you
it
know,
cold? Is it cold? And she needs her blanket?
no, she had to go potty. As you know, the room I'm in, it's impossible for her to get out without interrupting me. So
Yeah, I got you.
I have to open the door for her. But
I got you. Well, at least she's that.
all right. Well, anyway,
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
yes. So that I'm glad you pulled that quote because I had the same one. Um, I thought Burnham's internal monologue kind of reflected the same. Um, yeah. I thought it was a good episode. So my only complaint was I don't really like when they talk about nebulous energies
Yeah.
and
Well, you knew that they were going to have to explain how they were going to bring Culber back, right? Like,
but I wasn't sure that they were going to bring it back.
oh, okay. Maybe it's because I've seen too many TV posters with him
Oh,
on them.
oh, really?
I'm like, oh, okay. So is he just there as like a hologram or Force Ghost? What? What's going on here? Are they gonna like Genesis him back to? And they kind of did in a way. They kind of did. They kind of did, but in
Well,
a
okay.
different way.
So there was an episode of Enterprise that went full on body spirit mode where there was soul, like in the like biblical sense, where I apologize, I don't remember the episode's title.
No, I apologize for not remembering at all.
Yeah, so there was, I mean, I guess they were presented as aliens, but they had a way of going into your body and um so they were wispy.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah, yeah, yeah. That okay. Yep. Sorry.
but like the wisps that you would see, if I'm not mistaken, were not like the alien's body. It was described as like the soul of dead aliens or something that you could see, and then they would like possess the through people's bodies and then inhabit them, and then they would become them.
Starting to ring a bell, yes.
And so I just didn't like that the assumption that there is this energy within us that is separate, that if you were to pull it out, you would see it and it would behave
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
you, and
Hmm.
you could put it in another body. I mean, whatever you believe, you know, I'm not saying I don't like believe in things, but the fact that it was just assumed as the case, where I feel like Star Trek is a world that's very rational, and um, things are backed up. Like even when we're talking about going faster than light speed and stuff, they still try to use like quasi real
Yes,
science to
yes,
explain it, and
yes.
it's consistent. It's based in physics and
Yeah,
stuff, and then they just throw in these um metaphysical things without like really giving like the scientific explanation, I
I
guess.
agree. I agree. In this one, I I'm totally 100% with you on that one. I did not. I'm like his essence. I'm like, really? Really? And then we're gonna like rehatch him in a cocoon, because
Yeah.
the cocoon has the matter that can be formed into life in space. So basically, he's a dinosaur or a bird or a reptile.
Hmm.
Essentially, he was
Yeah.
born in an egg.
Right. So I guess they convinced May to do it. Is that what they did
Yeah, yeah,
to?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So because May and the mycelium network thought that Culber was attacking them, even though he was just defending himself,
Hmm.
because as we see in the episode, when it penetrates the body, when the mycelial spores penetrate, this outside um, um, thing, an invasion or an invader, excuse me, it attacks you, and so the only way to defend yourself is to kind of attack it back, in which Hugh Culber was doing, was just defending himself, but also attacking and essentially destroying the mycelial network in a way. And so it was very much like when healthy cells attack a cancer, or whatever the case might, however you want to analogize that. But yeah, no, it was May, and it was Tilly giving, and that's why I did this. It was the pinky promise to May that if you do this, he will stop, because you're essentially taking him away and sending him back into our normal space.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the whole reason May left the network to infect Tilly was to enlist her to
Yes.
kill Culber for them.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. You,
Okay.
you are correct. No
Okay.
need to be corrected.
Okay. Yeah. So, see, the thing is, though, um, when Colbert was killed by Tyler, Stamets
Yeah.
was at the time in the room, but dealing with his own
Yeah, he was, if we
affliction.
remember, and the only reason I remember is because I had to go watch it again, is
Mm,
that he was fluxing. Fluxing,
yeah.
phasing, phasing. Phasing is
Yeah.
probably a better word.
Hmm.
I just wanted to use flux, so but anyway, no. Phasing was a better word. So, his essence, I guess. See, and to your point, and I don't want to like harp on this too much, but like if they would have said, "Oh, we had, his piece of tissue,"
There we
or
go. That's what I was going for. The Jurassic
or
Park
like
thing.
a
Speaking
tear,
of
or like
dinosaurs,
skin, or
but there
something.
was a tear. They showed the
Right.
tear
Or like,
go onto Stamets.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, really? Your essence? Come on, now we're getting into a little bit of fantasy land and getting away from Star Trek a little bit, although it's science fiction. And I'll give them that, but it, I agree. I'm with you. It was a little bit too much his essence. It's not like, you can put him in a squirt bottle and go, Chanel number 5, Culber essence.
Yeah. See, yeah, I thought they were going to do the Jurassic Park thing, the Dino
Thank
DNA,
you.
like,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yes,
and
exactly.
they just have a piece of it, and that's enough to
Right,
build the
exactly.
entire thing.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, I'm with you there. Um, so I have the same problems with this episode that I did with that Enterprise episode.
Yes.
But
I think yeah, I have the same exact issue. It's not a big one, but it is something that I'm like, kind of
yeah,
ruined it for me.
yeah, it
Because
just stops this episode from being a higher score in my mind.
yeah, totally, totally, totally. And I might actually, when I give my PIP rating, I was going back and forth, but I may be a little harsh. You may find it a little harsh, but I'm like, no, I feel comfortable with that because it does kind of
Mhm.
ruin it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what, though? I mean, I don't know about you, but when I'm giving my grade, I'm considering like it's on a curve, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, sure, 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 sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm isolated and it's in a box.
So for you, there's a list of things. If it ticks all of them off, it's possible for them to get 100%.
Yeah.
And you're not considering that 100%, how it stacks up against another one that
No, 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 no. Because and especially with these kinds, especially with episodes that either tail end or non-episode or like more of the kind of the episodic way of doing it.
Mhm.
You know, you got I try to leave it by it on its own, right? And have
Mhm.
like how, as we talked about this many, many times, how Star Trek it is one of those criteria things,
Mhm.
which this episode's hits on a lot. But then there are just things that I can't, I don't love to compare um, you know, this to that, even though it's in the same franchise or in the same series or in the same story arc. I like to do it very much isolated in a box.
Yeah, I get it. It makes sense. I don't know why, but my inclination is to do it on a curve.
Sure.
So
Yeah. No. Yeah.
so someday I will encounter the perfect episode, and then all other episodes will be measured against that one.
The other the one of the things that got me to that I wanted to ask you about was what do you think is happening between Leland and Pike?
Yeah, they really played up whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, was it just two bulls locking horns?
it seemed like more than that though.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, I totally developed a backstory, and I could be wrong on it, but I think they went to the academy together, and they were
Okay,
like brothers,
okay.
and something happened that led Leland to give up his commission in Starfleet.
Oh,
And Pike is angry at him for turning away from the uniform and
interesting.
joining a
Hmm.
to what I think Pike thinks is an insidious
Yeah.
organization like Section 31.
Hmm. it kind of goes back to what I was saying, where I think like Philippa could become the main villain.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see that and that's why I was like, oh, interesting, because I do think Section 31 does become a little bit of an antagonistic villain
Hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
deal. And I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it's Philippa or Leland or Ash Tyler in my mind, where I'm like, it's one of those three.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know why it made me think of Jack Ryan, how it's like, even though you'll have like two American entities, you'll have they'll be basically on opposite sides because one of
Yeah.
them is like willing to do anything.
Hang on. Hang
Yeah,
on. Time out.
yeah, yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You- Jack Ryan, and yet I'm the one who's always quoting Hunt for Red October. Wait a minute. Wait, wait, wait a minute. Hang on. Like, which are you talking about Clan Present Danger, that Jack Ryan? Are we talking about
Um,
the
honestly,
TV
bro,
show Jack
honestly,
Ryan?
bro,
What?
all of it on it because like it's interesting because he ends up being a fugitive in his own government,
Yeah.
even though the people who are pursuing him are trying to accomplish the same things that he is trying to accomplish. He's just trying to do it in a more righteous way, usually.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
And that's like what this feels like, right?
Yeah. 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 Totally. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Totally.
And then of course, like he figures it out, and at the end they just kind of forgive him, like, oh, sorry about
Right.
that. Welcome back.
Right. I'm like, wait a minute. This is the first we heard about Jack Ryan after all of these. Okay.
Yeah, I picked that one for you, buddy. I knew
Okay.
that would get a rise out of you.
And then, yes,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think, yeah, like you said, I think they'll be antagonistic, possibly. See, I can just envision a scene where they're literally both chasing Spock and they both get close, and that brings them into conflict with each other to the
Sure,
point where they might have to like literally like fight each other or something.
sure.
Or yeah. So and then that'll be really interesting, the fallout from that.
Do you think it's a little bit too much, and kind of going along the similar lines? Do you think it's too much that the Admiralty sanctions this? I'm like, it's
Hmm.
one dude. Yeah, it's Spock, but it's one guy.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I mean, is that just a symptom of they don't have anything better to do? Because it's peacetime?
The cynical answer in me says it's the way that Discovery is just doing this just because they think they can and they want to. Um, because I don't, in the other versions of Star Trek, because in the other version, I should say version,
Hmm.
we don't see Section 31 like this much as a heavy-handed. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We've seen them in two versions. And they're usually not this overt. It's usually much more shadowy, kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
CIA operative, Mission Impossible kind of deal.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how they
And
were in
I
Enterprise.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same with in Deep Space Nine. And so I just think they're just I mean I think it's just a way to bring it's an excuse to bring Philippa and Ash Tyler back.
Right.
But that's just my cynical side that says, "Oh, okay, we're running out of ideas
Yeah,
in
no,
season two."
yeah, you're right, man. But I have to say, Tyler and Burnham, those two actors, they have such good chemistry.
Oh, totally. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're like brilliant. And then like, when they were hot and heavy earlier on, it was so convincing. And even now, even when they're briefly on screen together, it's definitely palpable. And so I
Yes.
think that is a big reason why they like we got to bring him back because it like
Yeah.
works so well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that there was like a point in season one
Hmm.
where the writer's like, "Oh, yes, chemistry right there, and we're gonna want to need to see more of that." But then they
Yeah.
painted themselves in a corner and was like, "Oh, but he's Klingon, but he's not."
Now he has a kid with another
Oops.
Klingon.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's something that I keep harping back on this, but like they keep writing stuff that just feels to me like yes, it was planned out, but it was somewhat unnecessary to like do it that way. And I'm like, really? Now we got to explain it again.
Yeah. 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 It's definitely awkward because it's like he's Starfleet, then he's Klingon, now he's Section 31. Like he
Right.
just keeps being thrown around to different extremes, and they just find, maybe not convincing reasons to bring him into the fray, right? And
Yeah.
it's like not totally believable. Yeah. So and I feel like he's going to end up back on disco at some point, right?
I imagine. I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because I have a sinking feeling that they're gonna do something with the Spock character, and then we're gonna have to do the same thing again.
Yeah.
And like, oh, he did kill these people, but it was under the influence of the Red Angel or the Seven Spheres or whatever the case might be.
Right. Oh, that before I forget. So at the end of this episode, because now 31 and Disco are working together, they're
Hmm.
comparing notes, and they say there's like tachyon residue.
Yes,
Um, and
time
so
travel.
that indicates time travel.
Yeah,
And so that's a clue to what you're talking about with the seven angels, or the seven spots or whatever.
yeah,
It has something to do with time travel.
yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I am a little worried. I am a little wary of like how they're gonna write how what the truth is about this about what Spock has been up to. Did he actually kill those people? You know,
Yeah, that's going to be hard to get
all
past.
that
We've
other
talked
stuff.
about this before, how if he did kill them, even if it was under the influence, it's going to be hard to get past that as a
Yeah.
fan. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to probably episode 7 and 8 those memories if that happens.
Yeah. Well, what rating
Eight
would you
nine
give
eight
this one?
nine. Sorry, 8 9 episode 8 9. All of
Seven,
those
eight, nine.
memories.
7, 8, 9, I assume.
Force Awakens was okay. It was
Wow.
okay. It was okay.
Good good thing we're recording this. Oh my
It was
goodness.
okay. It was okay.
Let's get that pip rating, buddy. What do you think?
Uh, I'm I was gonna give this Commanders episode. I am gonna give it a 2 pip just because of the conclusion. I know that seems harsh, but it's a lieutenant's pip, but the essence stuff totally lost me on that one. I wish I could give it a commander's. I wouldn't have given it. I wouldn't even given it a lieutenant commander. I wish I could, but that you know how the one thing can just ruin it for you.
Yeah.
The essence
Well,
kind of did.
yeah, especially for me grading on a curve. If there's one thing wrong, I mean,
Yeah,
there's episodes that have nothing wrong. So,
yeah.
um,
What about you?
so yeah, yeah. Uh,
It's.
I
I
did
know it's harsh. I know. I
because this
know.
this one had some really great moments.
I know it did. I know it did. And I want to
Burnham,
go back between lieutenant and lieutenant commander, but
yeah. And, at the beginning when Burnham said, "I want to have faith, but in its absence, only duty remains." Like I just that's just a good, you know, sentence or a good
yeah,
phrase.
totally.
Like
Totally.
it's just very well written. So but
Yeah,
yeah,
and can you trust, what Philippa is saying? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Because that's the conflict that she's having in this episode too.
Hmm. Right, right, right. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, there's a dichotomy there. Is that how you
Yes,
would say that?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway, hey,
No,
you
it
know
is.
what? I'd give it a man. I'm gonna give it like the highest C plus that you can get.
Okay, okay.
So like 79.9. Like
79.
yeah, like you would be asking your teacher to round up to a B minus.
I got you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, was there anything else
Speaking
about
of
this?
Star Wars, you excited for
Yeah,
next week?
I am. Yeah. I have the opportunity to see it in the theater a day before.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm going to do it though. Just
what?
be, yeah. I mean, it's only a day before, and it's on a Monday, I believe. Uh,
So
and
correct me if I'm wrong. We get the two episode drop on the fourth, right?
hmm
And then so your pre movie is would be on a Monday. Yeah, it would be on a Monday
hmm
because I think the fourth is a Tuesday, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't know. Tomorrow's the 31st, and then so Saturday's the first. Yeah, yeah, you're right. So Monday's the third, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I just so like because Fandango did a thing where they're like, hey, if you sign up, you bring this confirmation, but it's still first come, first serve.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you think it's
But
going to
it
be busy at the theater that you want to go to, or is it limited to certain theaters,
limited to certain theaters.
to like a handful of theaters?
Yeah, but it's not like they're giving unlimited passes because a lot of the ones on the list said sold out. So
Oh, okay.
I think they are overselling it, but to what
Oh, okay.
extent, I don't know. Because what I don't want to do is get there and then have to go home, and like that's gonna bum me out more
How
than
far is your
anything.
theater?
Oh,
The
it's
theater
really
that you
close.
got.
It's yeah, it's Fashion Square, so it's 10 minutes.
Oh, so that's really
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
It's not
I
very.
don't know.
I'm
So
like, okay, I'll just go. What time?
I don't remember,
Okay.
but not like midnight. So it's like
Sure,
just
sure, sure,
at
sure, sure,
night.
sure.
Yeah. So
Sure, sure. Because then you could just stream it on Disney Plus at that point, right?
yeah.
Is that how that usually works?
Hmm.
On Disney Plus once it hits like midnight or whatever?
Yeah.
And then you
Yep.
can just start streaming the two episodes.
Yep. So yeah, so I was telling my wife 2024 is going to beat 2022 as far as TV because that year we had House of Dragon, we had Rings of Power, And I think correct me if I'm wrong, earlier in that year we had Mandalorian or Boba Fett or something, but
Yeah,
I can't remember which one,
yeah.
um
I think it
but
was
this
season
year
2 or 3 or 2
something
or
like that, yeah.
Mandalorian. Yeah.
But this year, um so Acolyte and
Yes.
then Rings of Power season 2 and then House of Dragons season 2 and then there's a Dune series coming out on
Oh, I
HBO.
heard that.
Yeah, I finally watched parts 1 and 2, the movies
The new one.
on each. Yeah, very good. And then is there more Star Wars coming out? Like when does Andor come out? Is
I
it this year?
believe at the end of this year.
Yeah, see what I'm saying, man? This year is nuts. So, and
Yeah,
then yeah, I don't know if you saw the Lego Zelda collaboration.
I saw that.
So that's going to consume $300 of my money.
Oh my, I was gonna, I wasn't gonna ask you because I just assumed that you were going to.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what? No, we were in, the Anaheim Disney Springs, and they have a
okay.
Lego store, if you recall,
I remember. Yeah.
and they had a poster of it or
What?
something, yeah, of it not that long
Really?
ago.
Oh,
And I
wow.
said to the love to my love, and I'm like, oh, Gabe's gonna want that. I'm like, how much is that gonna be?
$300, man.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad.
And you know what? I, I gotta say this, it has to be one of the most impressive Lego sets ever made. So the level of detail,
Really? Over the Millennium Falcon?
I'm telling you, man, there's all these like little Easter eggs in it, but it's also, this is kind of mind blowing. So I think it's like 2,000 pieces. So
Yes.
one set, it's 2 in 1. So
Yes.
so you can build the Ocarina of Time Deku Tree, or with the same pieces, you can put them in a different way and build the Breath of the Wild Deku Tree. So
Hang,
it's
hang, wait,
like,
wait, 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 wait.
yeah,
What?
yeah. So it's kind of like one of those like reversible shirts or something. It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, 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 okay.
you
Is it
know,
out?
uh,
It's out yet, though, right?
no, it doesn't come out till like September.
Oh, okay, okay. So what's the
Yeah.
difference between the two trees?
Well, it's two different games.
Okay,
Um, they're different eras.
okay.
As you know, the Zelda timeline is a very big debate that
Yes, yes,
nerds
yes.
nerds like me literally talk
Yes, I
about it
watch your
every
TikTok
single day.
videos. Yes.
Yeah. And so depending on what you believe, they are the same being, but just thousands of years apart. Or
Oh.
or you believe they are different entities. So it depends on what your Zelda timeline beliefs are.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
unlike Star Trek, um, the creators of Zelda do not tell you all the time where things belong. And then even when they do, people don't believe that that's the real
Oh
timeline
my
because
God.
a third party is the one who published it.
Right, right, right. Oh my
So,
God.
yeah,
So they're obtuse just to make it obtuse.
right.
Just so
And
that there
and
is this like, debate of like
but
when this is.
yeah, I mean, dude, I could literally talk about this for
I
hours,
know
but
you can.
but
I know you
but
can.
again, are they being obtuse just to be obtuse, or are they being obtuse because they don't even know themselves? Like they think they probably have some thoughts, but maybe they don't want to commit
And
because
what camp do you fall in under again?
I think it's the adult timeline. I think
Okay,
Breath of the
no,
Wild
no,
is
no,
on
I
the
know, no,
adult
no, no, I
timeline.
know, but
Yeah.
no, but my question is to you, do you think secretively they have the book? They've written it
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
and that they do know what they're doing.
Yeah, I do.
Unlike J.J. Abrams. Sorry, Disney Star Wars again, but yeah.
I do. Yeah. I
Okay.
think they do.
Okay. Because the poster that we saw, it
Hmm.
was a man looking tree,
Yeah, that's the
kind of had a
Deku tree.
face,
Yeah, that's the
and it
Deku
was
tree.
green leaves,
That's the Ocarina of Time one.
but you're saying there's a different face
So
tree thing?
that same set, you can rebuild it so that it has pink leaves, so it's a cherry tree. It's a sakura tree, right? It's
Oh, the Sakura tree.
yeah,
Oh, nice. Okay, nice.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. See, I
yeah.
really thought you were gonna say the Millennium Falcon. The $800 Millennium Falcon was the most, or
See,
the
but the well,
or
here's
the
the thing though.
the Star Destroyer.
Here's the thing is those are like exact replicas, right?
Yeah.
This is like an impression. It's like impressionistic. It's like it includes all these little things that aren't like to scale probably, and
Oh.
it's there are things in, even and I've only seen the like the promo photos. Who knows what it's actually going to have like in it, but
Oh.
like um okay, like they have Link's house because in Ocarina of Time, Link lives in Kokiri Forest, and the Deku Tree is in Kokiri Forest. But Link has a tree house, and like so
Oh.
in the promo photo, there's a sign in front of his house, and it's written in the Hylian language,
Oh my God, of course it
and
is.
so yeah, and so it's not a direct rip from the game. Like
Right.
it's an original
Right.
phrase that they put on this sign. So of course the nerds deciphered it using the key because we have the key for the Hainan script. And it turns out what it says something like only you can read this. It's a secret to everybody.
Right.
It's a secret to everybody is from the first Zelda game.
Okay.
Um, but like you wouldn't know it says that unless you like literally pulled up the key and
Right.
translated
Right.
it.
Right. Right.
And the thing is when you decipher it, it gives you the Japanese. So then you have to translate the
From
Japanese
the
to
Japanese to
English.
English. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. That's interesting. That's fun.
So
That's fun.
there's just stuff like that in it. And that's not like from the game. That's something the designer of this set put in there for the fans
Oh,
to
okay. Okay.
appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the only Lego set that you've ever wanted, or have there been
Yes.
others?
Yeah. No, this got to be it, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
So
And have you put yourself down on the pre-order list?
not yet because they also announced a Zelda lore book, um,
Oh boy.
which they do. You know, I think you've bought me one of them before. So usually
Yes. Is that
the
what I
way
got you? I don't remember.
it was, yeah. So that
Okay.
publisher, Dark Horse, is the publisher. So
Okay.
usually the way it works is it comes out in Japanese first, and then like a year later it comes out in
Oh,
English,
okay.
and then
And
Dark
so
Horse
the
publishes it in
Japanese one
English.
has been
The
out and
Japanese comes out.
okay.
So I had to create a Japanese Amazon account just to
Oh
order
my
it.
God. You couldn't wait?
No, I'm not waiting. Hell no.
It's backwards, right? I'm
No, I
curious if
didn't.
it's gonna be backwards and then
I forgot about that.
left to right and then yeah,
Yeah,
left to right, yeah.
yeah, because the mangas are backwards, right? The
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah.
manga,
Because
yeah,
that's how Asian languages are written.
yeah, forgot about that.
Interesting. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'll be using the Google Lens or whatever on my phone,
Oh
and
God.
I'll be translating every page.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, you would. No judgment. It's just Oh man, you had to create a Japanese Amazon account. I'm surprised they'll
Yeah.
ship to the United States a lot of times.
Yeah, they didn't have a problem. I was
Okay.
surprised too.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's serious. That's serious.
Yeah. I know. So,
So you've never wanted the Star Wars Lego sets or anything like that? Just this is the one.
n- no, I mean, and I have quite a few Star Wars like smaller ones, but I've never nerded out with like the Falcon or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. I would if I had it. Oh man, that'd be awesome. But I mean, aren't those things like $2,000 or something?
I think the Falcon is like $800
Okay. Yeah.
because like my nephew, that's his dream. Uh, it's either the Falcon or the Star Destroyer. That's like one of those two is like his dream Lego sets. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Someday maybe, but yeah, there's no way I would spend 800 bucks on that. But
Yeah.
300 bucks for the
For the
Deku
Deku
Tree,
Tree, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's a two in
probably, yeah.
one apparently.
2 in 1, yeah. So it's yeah, 150 bucks each. So
Yeah, right? Exactly.
all right, my man. Well, anything else?
Uh Not about this episode. I think we covered it.
Okay. Well, yeah, next time we'll talk about the next episode and we'll talk about the Acolyte.
Acolyte, yep, absolutely.
And sure there'll be a lot to talk about. What's the over under on a Yoda sighting in these first 2 episodes, Jason?
I'm gonna go pretty I'm gonna go pretty low. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna go pretty low on this.
Okay.
Um, just because it feels like this the Acolyte is going to be a separate story away from main characters. I could be
Hmm.
wrong. Didn't even think about it. What about you? Pretty high?
Man, I mean, because Yoda says, for 800 years, Jedi Knights have I trained. Like, so,
Yeah, I
and
totally get it. I get
this
that.
is
I get that.
within that time span, and we
Is it?
see the Jedi Temple. I thought it was only 100 years before episode 1. Am I wrong there?
No, I was gonna ask you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't heard
Now I
anything.
now I'm doubting, but
No,
and I mean,
don't.
because they show the younglings in the Jedi Temple, right? Um I just
But
can't
isn't the
imagine Yoda
Jedi
not being
Temple
there.
so old though? Isn't it supposed to be really old?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like probably thousands of years old. Yeah.
Like dusty and stuff. But the is it on Coruscant though? This Jedi Temple that we're supposed to see?
That was my assumption. I could be wrong. I don't know. We're talking about an era where there's obviously never been a book or a movie. I'm sorry, a show or a movie. There was the video game, the Old Republic, which I played quite a bit, but um I don't ever recall. I definitely went to Coruscant in that game. I don't recall the Jedi Temple being there
Okay.
though. Yeah.
Okay. Because the thing that I was gonna ask you was like, where do you think like it? Where do you think they're getting their source material then from, or are they just this is Filoni, Favreau, and the director and the other producers coming up and going, okay, here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think there was a book or a series of books that she said that she drew on a lot. Um, but I don't. I guess the impression that I got was there are books and stuff covering this period, but she is rebooting this. like it's a retelling of the spirit of it, and it's I think when you read those books, the plot and the goings on are overt, and they're just like talking about what's happening. And I think in this, it's all turned into a mystery, and so they're only revealed to a select few.
Mm.
Um, and it's very much like
Mm.
the mystery of the Sith type thing.
Mm. Mm.
Whereas like in the video game, for instance, it's just an open battle
Yeah.
of Sith versus Jedi,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
everybody knows that thousands of Sith are walking around. And I
Right.
think this
Okay.
is the same thing, but they're like making it such that nobody knows. And then people, I bet people who do know start dying. I bet that's what's going to happen.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, great. No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's exciting. And the reason and kind of getting back to the Yoda point is I'm hoping my my inclination to say no is because the Star Wars universe is so big that it has to include characters, new characters that you're going to fall in love with or you're going to hate or everything along that spectrum and
Hmm.
not just rehash it. Oh, Yoda's there, or Yaddle's there, or Count Dooku, or Qui-Gon Jinn, or
Yeah.
whatever the case might be.
Hmm.
Unless it's for like unless it's for like a pivotal moment in that character for that character, then yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. But if it's not, and it's just, you get them just because you get them, then I'm like, it just doesn't, you know. I think.
Yes. See, for me, I think that's why he will show up, but it won't be until like the season finale.
Oh, okay. Because like going back to Andor, right? Like
Hmm.
other than Cassian,
And
right?
Mon Mothma, yeah.
Yeah, and Mon Mothma. Like
Hmm.
we get all these new characters and we get all these new people in this big expansive universe, and I think that's really exciting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. Um, if they do it like Andor, yeah, then we're in for a treat, man, for
Yeah,
sure. But
I'm excited though. I'm excited.
yeah, yeah. So can't wait to talk about it.
I know.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Well,
buddy.
thank you. It was
Nope,
great
thank
to see
you.
you again. It's been
It's good to
too
see you
long.
too. It's
And
great to be back in
everybody,
the captain's quarters.
yeah, everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Follow us on all the stuff: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We're on all the stuff.
All the socials.
Uh, yeah, we appreciate it. And until next time, live long and prosper.
And may the force be with you.
See you later.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
buddy.